How can one overcome trauma from rape? Hi, my name is Martha. I'm a clinical sexologist with a doctorate in human sexuality. I'm also a relationship coach, and I'm from Eros Coaching. That's eroscoaching.com. So I just want to say that rape is a difficult experience for anyone to experience, and I would never wish this on anyone. This does happen, and the way we deal with difficulties in life is different for different people. Some people are very resilient, and they actually can come out of this relatively unaffected. And there are people who are deeply traumatized by it. What happens with rape is one of the first things is denial and shock. They can't believe that this has happened, and they can't believe that this has happened to them. And then there's anger that can come up. There's sadness and powerlessness that can come up. So these are like a few stages that people can go through before they even get into the next level of acceptance. So what happens is this is not linear. They can be at different stages at different points. What also happens with trauma is in trying to cope with life, to be functional. Perhaps this happened in the relationship, and the person may not want to worry other people in the house or involved, like for instance the parents, and or maybe they have kids to think of, and so they just push things aside and they deny it. So we go into fight or flight, and there are people who fight and attack, and there are people who run away from the experience. There are people who freeze when they experience such in the rape happening to them. They freeze. They just don't know what to do. And then there are people who disassociate. There are people who report being raped and having an out-of-body experience, and so they are not really accepting it, and so it can take a long time for them to even get to that level of accepting that it happened. It is when you accept the trauma that you can work at getting over it. So some of the things that can help with that lock of the trauma in your body is emotional release. And I have made free videos about some emotional releasing techniques which you can look at. And the link is eroscoaching.com/clean-and-clear. So you can find the link below also. So trauma is different for different people. And of course, I would recommend talking to someone about it, a psychologist, a sex therapist, a sexologist. And often clients who come to me who have experienced trauma because of rape come because they are in the partnered relationship. And this is causing problems in their relationship because they are noticing that they are shutting down sexually, and they are feeling overwhelmed as they are flooded with memories. And these memories are bizarrely coming up like after they have formed the relationship, after they have gone through a period of good sex. And they are very puzzled why this is happening when they didn't have a problem with the past before. And this has to do with how we go through a process of forming, and then there's this period of storming, just like in team building, forming, storming, performing, norming, norming and performing. So there are a few stages when it comes to teams. So I'm just taking it from them. There's the forming, so like the honeymoon period. And then there's the storming, basically like working out through the issues. And then there's performing. So then there's norming and then performing. So the norming is when they figure out how to make things work, and then they strive together. Thrive. So after the honeymoon period is over, when one feels safe, this is when the unreconciled issues, the unconscious things come up. And actually this is a good thing, because this is when you actually feel safe to go through these and work through it. And this is actually a compliment to your partner. However, we choose not to see it that way. And so it's really important to not just look at the negative side of the trauma coming up, but also look at the positive. It's not coming up. It won't come up if you don't feel safe and actually have some skills to deal with it. And so it's really important to get support and to have a partner who understands what is happening, and to agree and want to work through it with you. And so it's actually usually quite overwhelming for your partner who doesn't have the skills to work through it with you alone. So it's important to then go to somebody who is skilled in this. So I hope this video is giving you some insights about what might be happening to someone who has gone through rape and who's experiencing trauma. And I hope this is giving you some food for thought, and you can check out some of the resources that I have below. This is Martha of Eros Coaching.